Political campaigns pick people up and brandish them before the camera. Here's the kind of New Zealander we'll help. Here's the kind of New Zealander who'll vote for us. Aroha Island of Auckland's Migi and Close was a classic example taken up to Waitangi by John Key. The 12-year-old became the face of what the national leader had called the underclass. Well, when Bill English visited the AFCO meatworks in Horotiu, he didn't quite do the same thing. It was more your conventional kind of photo opportunity leader with workers' smiles all round. But Bill English went on to cite the workers as potential beneficiaries of National's income tax cuts that workers will get if National are re-elected, implicitly recruiting the workers as part of National's campaign. So what did they think of that in Horotiu and surrounds? Cameraman Bradley White and I drove south to find out. If you're listening, we're on the recently bypassed stretch of State Highway 1, about 13k north of Hamilton, the famous Horotiu sign, and a slight hint of the smell you get in killing season, very distinctive to everyone who knows this area. Now, this is where Bill English visited the other day, a classic election campaign photo opportunity. The tea room during what used to be called smoke-o break, handshakes, smiles, selfies. Very typical kind of campaign trail stuff. But then last night, Horotiu and its workforce was, well, elevated beyond even the fame of Facebook by references to them in the leaders' debate on TVNZ. And the question, would they prefer an extra $1,000 a year in their hand, thanks to National's proposed tax cuts, or the same tax rate and more social spending if Labor is elected into government?
Well, Mike, the transparency would require the Labor Party first to look in the eye those meat workers I spoke to yesterday in Horotiu and tell them they're going to take $1,000 a year off them, because those people will get $1,000 from the tax cuts that are legislated, take it off them to spend on making tertiary education a bit cheaper for lawyers. Transparency would require the Labor Party to say what the rate of capital gains tax is, what the water tax is, how much the petrol tax is, whether they're going to have wealth tax, whether they're going to have some new capital gains tax.
Well, we knew somebody was coming because it was like all these suits walking around and people dressed up and all these strange people, and they were lined up outside waiting for somebody to turn up. I actually thought it was one of the tallies or one or two of the tallies, but it was the Prime Minister, Bill English. And then somebody came out and said, "Oh, you guys have to go into the smoker room to listen to the speech." And, this was during our meal break.
That's Wata Muru, beef butcher, AFCO employee union delegate, the kind of Horotiu worker National's tax cuts would put more money in the pocket of, the kind of worker Bill English was talking about. So, does he want more income or more social spending?
It kind of sounded like to me, it's like, we'll give you $1,000 tax cut and Labor wants to take it away from you. And a lot of people, not just meat workers, but just ordinary workers across the country, who will be very interested in this education policy of Labor. If they especially got children who are intending to go to university or tertiary education.
Wata Muru. We wanted to do what Bill English had done and speak to the Horotiu workers at work, but there wasn't killing or processing today, and AFCO's plant manager told me it wouldn't have been possible for us to do so anyway. In the absence of permission to visit and talk to the workers, we're going to go to the nearest town to here. It's 6k north along the road you can hear so busily in front of me, and the town, of course, is Ngaruawahia. I've arrived in the barber shop. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
What's your name?
Sarge.
Sarge?
Yep.
As in like Sergeant Major?
Yeah, it is what it is, yeah.
Yeah. Is this your business?
Yeah, it is my business.
And how's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. It's going awesome, actually, yeah.
Sarge, I was later told by someone who'd watched me approach him with amazed bewilderment, is not only a barber and a local businessman, he is strongly connected at senior levels to the mongrel mob. I was interested in him as a voter. Have you thought about the election?
I have been thinking about the election, and I've been encouraging as much people as I can, to make an informed decision about who they're going to vote for. Yeah.
And have you thought about who you're going to vote for?
Well, being a business owner, it's within my interest to vote for National, but at the same time, there's other issues that are affecting everybody. So, it's like a toss up between National New Zealand First, Labour and the Māori Party, you know, so, you know, like I've got interest in each party.
And that does speak to a big picture here on the Māori role in this electorate. This is an all-in ding-dong with Labour's Nanaia Mahuta, the incumbent, but the Māori king, who's based just a few hundred metres away, having endorsed the Māori Party. Kia ora, what's your name?
Whakapono.
Whakapono.
Yeah.
What a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too, John.
Are you going to vote?
Yes, I am.
Whakapono is voting Labour and, well, she wanted to issue a very particular Waikato apology because of that.
Oh, sorry, Uncle Tuku.
Sorry, Uncle Tuku. So why Labour?
What's her name?
Jacinda Ardern.
That's the one. She's like, for me, she's the next Helen Clark.
Why?
Well, she seems like she's going to make everything flow for the people, get them off the streets. That's what I think, anyway.
Homelessness, housing, getting by, they were recurring themes amongst the people I spoke to in Narua Wahia. I call it an older voter as she was getting out of her car. And what are the issues? Don't tell me who you're going to vote for, but what are the issues you're deciding on?
Homeless. Homelessness.
Do you know people who've struggled with housing and finding somewhere to live and the quality of their housing?
Yes, I know a lot of people, but I can't say who they are.
But tell me about their circumstance. What are they living in?
On the streets. So living on the streets, in the parks, living on the seats, wherever.
Sleeping in parks. Dawn, who was doing a wonderful job on a garden in a traffic island, knows exactly what she means. What are the issues that are important to you this election campaign?
I can't believe people sleep in cars and not in houses and sleep on the streets. You get the odd homeless one when I worked in Hamilton City Council, you know, gardening around there, and you see them homeless. I can't understand how that happens.
So you'd be out working, doing the gardens, doing this lovely job, and you would see people who'd been sleeping rough.
Exactly. And it's not right. I go home at nights and I have a lovely meal at night and have a shower, go to bed, get up the next day, go to a job. We've got to help them.
And Jean, who has voted for Winston Peters in the past but is now voting Labour, agrees. What do you want from the next government of New Zealand?
Well, I personally probably don't want too much, but for the ones coming up, my children and their children, I'd like to see them have the life we've had, really. Freedom and being able to, achieve whatever.
Do you own a home?
Yes, I do.
Do you have grandkids?
I do.
And do you reckon they'll own their home?
Don't, no. Not unless they get a rich husband or get the lottery or something, no.
And that stuff's important to you?
Yes, it is, because I think, it's pretty tough renting. Even round here, the rents are shocking.
Big picture, small picture, macro, micro, more in the pocket or more government spending? I asked Alice. Is that an equation you've got an opinion on?
My husband actually works at AFCO in Horotiu, so the extra $1,000 would be great in our pocket. But I'm also, I suppose, more concerned, and holistically, in the whole country, like child's poverty and things like that. That's just really upsetting to me. Housing, I think, in general, those are probably the issues. Although the extra $1,000, would be nice. Does that work out $2 a week or something? I'd rather forego
$20 a week.
Oh, $20
a week. So would that make a difference?
I don't think it would. If a lump sum, I could probably, but $20, I'd rather it go to people that generally need it. We're doing okay, and I'd rather it goes to someone that's not doing so okay.
Possibly not the answer Bill English was hoping for from the wife of an AFCO worker. What about the AFCO owner, the Tallies Group? Sir Peter Talley is Joint Managing Director. What does he want from the next government? While I was in Narua Wahia getting answers like that from all I met, our producer called Sir Peter to ask.
Peter, it's Bridget Burke from Radio New Zealand for Checkpoint with John Campbell.
No comment, my dear. No comment at all.
About what?
About anything. I don't talk to the news media.
Why not?
Goodbye.